Hello and welcome back to another Swole Osmo video. Today we're going to be going over the easiest way to beat man coverage, not by throwing drags, not by throwing slants, not by trying to trick their user over the middle of the field just so you can throw a pick. Trust me, I've been over that. It's not how you want to play Madden. You want wide open corner routes, wide open streaks. You want things outbreaking, so you don't have to worry about the unpredictability of the user. Things you can depend on and things that'll get you deep plays and are punishing to someone running man coverage. Now let's get straight into it. The concept that I'm going to be talking about today is creating unbumpables through motion blocks and motion in general. Now, this is not a new concept from old Maddens, or not a new concept relevant to old Maddens, like Madden 18, 19, and even a little bit early Madden, or late Madden 20, or early Madden 20, I should say, is when it was prevalent. Because you could motion block in those games and it would affect the man coverage alignment. It wasn't until I want to say early Madden 21 when they had to patch man coverage to the point where, or I should say it was a band-aid fix, they weren't patching man coverage at all, where now you couldn't motion block against man coverage alignments. That's how they patched the game, so you couldn't use this trick to beat man. Well, this year it's back. So you can now, instead of last year where you could only motion block against 3-4, 4-3, heavy 4-6, heavy linebacker sets. But this year, you can now motion block against any set to screw someone's man coverage completely or pull it right off the rails. So we're going to call something here called bench. Now I'm going to shade out, I'm going to shade over top. And you'll notice that Sterling Shepard won't actually be able to beat his man very well. Right there, it was a little close, but the cornerback was trailing, and the cornerback is slightly worse, but barely. But he's able to step back properly, take his cut, and follow the corner route quite easily. If you can't freeform that, or you don't have a speed advantage or anything like that, that corner route is completely bagged. But what you want is something wide open, something that you can maybe take off running for. I'm gonna do the same adjustments, outside and over top, because that is generally the best way to stop these deep bench corners. All I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna motion Kadarius Toney in and snap it almost immediately. What this will cause is the corners to almost bump into each other, and while giving Sterling Shepard a very free release. Right there, it was double coverage because I didn't have everybody out. Let's do it one more time. Let's send everybody out but the guy I'm motion blocking. Let's send the running back out. Let's put this guy on a drag. Let's do something like that. Because you're motion blocking, you're going to have more time in the pocket. It's just kind of a added benefit because you're blocking a receiver. Often it'll double team maybe an edge threat, and as long as it is a double team, you'll pick it up really easily. Or if they're running something like dollar, the receiver will pick up the corner and it'll just be like an offensive line, defensive line interaction because their shed stats or their pass rush stats and blocking stats are so low. So let's do it again, snap the ball, and we're getting that one-on-one. Look at that, look at the difference right there. Of course, if that's not slightly overthrown or freeformed poorly by me, that's a touchdown compared to something that was fairly covered. So I just motion blocked Kadarius Toney. These guys are bumping into each other now, and not only that, he doesn't get to press, he's facing the inside, and now this bench route is wide open for a gigantic gain. Okay, so this is not something that is just tight doubles exclusive. You can do it out of other popular formations, especially tight formations like gun bunch. So let's run something along the lines of, let's run Z-spot. It's a very common play call. It's usually not super good against man this year, but it would get that separation if there wasn't a good press animation, or more often if their cornerback whiffs on the press, which is exactly what the motion block should cause. So I'm going to do the same thing, shade outside and over top, and usually this should be a bag. So I'm just going to showcase as an example to make sure that it doesn't beat man on its own, and it definitely doesn't. So that is without the motion block. You'll notice it's covered. So let's do it, the same side motion snap or the motion block, whatever you really want to call it. Let's do it with the motion block. Let's motion Kenny Golladay in, let's push the tight end to the inside, let's even max protect. So right here, he does get the press animation off, but you notice it's much more open. And the reason that is because they bumped into each other. We did not have enough time to throw it. I am setting 5 at myself in practice mode. So this corner is running to the inside, like, oh, okay, let's see, he's motioning across the field. But since we snap it in motion, he kind of bumps into that corner, causing him to get a not the best press animation. He's pushing him to the inside instead of the outside because he can't really push him to the outside because that corner is bumping into him. So now this forces an inside shade. Now, if you look here, Once we cut, because they're shaded inside, this receiver completely burns them. Who even is he? Let's see. He doesn't even have a name. You know what I'm saying? It's just wide open because of that motion block. His name is Robinson. You know what? Let's actually find his name because he did a good job today for the example. Wandale Robinson, 5'8", 185 pounds, 91 speed, and he is a 72 overall. Like I said, you can do this with very low overall receivers. I don't feel that I really need to showcase this any further. I don't want to go over every formation, but I showcased how you lab it. You want to see what happens when you do that motion, same side motion slap / motion block, and see who gets open. It can make beating man that much easier, to the point where you can see man coverage and have a smile on your face instead of seeing man coverage and having a gigantic frown, because you know that they're just going to blitz you, your guys are going to get pressed, and you're going to have to throw drag routes or posts and just pray that they get open, and more importantly, pray that their user doesn't cover it. Now you have a solution. I hope you enjoy, and go dot up your opponent. Jeez, I can't even talk. I'm so excited about this. Go dot up your opponents and make sure that you leave a like on the video if this helped at all. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.